Puerto Rico is in the middle of a shitstorm. Every night this week, protesters have pushed for the resignation of Governor Ricardo Rosselló. And late today, an organization representing thousands of Puerto Rican police officers joined the call for the governor to step down. Tensions have been high, but the leak of a group chat between Rosselló and his cronies set them off. The messages, now dubbed Rickyleaks, included homophobic remarks, calling a New York City councilwoman a whore, and a joke about the dead from Hurricane Maria. Puerto Ricans were already suffering from slow disaster recovery, from austerity measures enacted to pay down $74 billion in debt, and from years of corruption that became even more obvious earlier this month, when 6 people, including 2 top officials, were arrested for fraud, theft, and misuse of federal dollars. Protesters promised to keep up the pressure, including a massive demonstration set for Monday. This group of women has been protesting at Rosselló's mansion for 7 days straight. They connected over their shared outrage with the governor and the island's status quo.
We have no doubt that we're making history, that we are being a part of history being made right now. And yesterday was the most beautiful thing I've ever witnessed in my entire life, to see so many people, so many Puerto Ricans come out and be part of a protest.
Okay, so some inappropriate text leak. Is this just about text messages?
No. Cuando el huracán María estaba en plena emergencia, literalmente había gente muriendo de hambre en Puerto Rico. Y las ayudas no llegaron porque simplemente decidieron pararlas por política pública. Y en realidad eso es bien triste, ¿sabes? Tú dejaste morir 4,645 personas solo por hacer política.
We've had federal arrests for corruption here before with his father's administration, but it's the corruption in the midst of so much suffering and so much vulnerability at an island-wide level. Everyone was suffering. Everyone was living day to day.
How does this current moment of protest compare to the culture of protest in the past?
The difference between this protest and this movement and others is that we've seen different sectors of the nation come together and make the same call, which is for him to resign.
This is the first time I've seen more than 5 men in a protest. It's usually all women.
That has been historic in itself. I mean, it's just that everyone has been affected somehow. If you didn't lose someone in the hurricane, then your school was closed down, then you didn't get access to healthcare, and now you're seeing all of this corruption inside that department. And I think that everyone has united in that way. Puerto Ricans are starting to understand that it's your right to protest, that we live in a democracy, and it doesn't mean anything if we don't exercise it, if we don't go to the streets and actually demand things to change.
Last night's protest felt more like a party than the climactic demonstrations that shook San Juan on Wednesday. There was music and dancing, almost as if locals were taunting Rosselló. Aliana Bigio Alcoba was one of their unofficial leaders, blasting out chants and riling up the crowd. This protest stayed peaceful. Many said they're saving energy for Monday. Manuel Natal is an independent member of Puerto Rico's House of Representatives. For 2 years, he's raised alarms about Rosselló's administration. What do you think that this scandal represents to Puerto Ricans who aren't politicians?
People are affected. People are sad. People are embarrassed. Their dignity has been obviously affected. The things that we always thought that were going on, but we never got the confirmation. Now we have them in a close to 900-page private chat, and that has provoked so much anger in people that has eventually get them to get out of their couch and get onto the streets and protest for what's right.
What do we know for sure has occurred with this administration?
There's been many conflict of interest. There have been revolving doors between individuals that are close to the governor, as close as his campaign director. They even went as far as withholding help for Maria hurricane victims in order to be able to have some sort of publicity out of delivering that help. So we have corruption scandals, we have conspiration against political opposition. We have a governor that's at the verge of a constitutional crisis, and in order to avert that crisis, he either needs to resign or he needs to be impeached.
We made a request for comment from Governor Rosselló and haven't gotten a reply. He issued a public apology for the text on Friday, but seems to be digging in his heels, not stepping down.
What do you think this represents? This represents change. I don't think we're going to go back to what we were after this. There's no turning back. This is history, basically. This has never happened, and everything will be different from now on. I am sure of it, and I know that's how it's gonna be. I see this as our last opportunity to show that we will not be taken advantage of, and we need to defend ourselves. We need to defend our country.
Are you afraid at all?
Yeah, I am a little bit. Because we don't know who to trust anymore. It's a difficult, intense climate that we're living here.